People deluded. Now, this isn't gonna move or develop anywhere, but just honest conversation from myself to you guys. But you lot know me already. I've been calling for centre half and left back, man. If in an ideal world, if we had cash and we could do this thing properly, you lot know me. I would like to go for a centre mid. I'd even like to be cheeky and get two people, winger without a doubt. At this point, do I even need to say a centre half to you lot, whether you support Arsenal or not? Do I have to say it? Well, we'll include that. And a left back. The two positions I said last, however, people, are vital for me. In an ideal world, there's several areas. Even a backup goalie needs to come in, and we'd actually sign another right back to compete with Bellerin and probably do some other stuff, people. But centre half and left back are priority. Now, there's rumours, it's completely irrelevant, but there's rumours Koscielny, if he isn't going to be given a new deal here, which I don't believe he should, wants to leave in the summer. I believe, or I was of the opinion, of in terms of experience, him and Monreal, for depth and experience-wise, should be kept. And I still believe a part of that. But by the same logic, I believe we should start afresh. So, Koscielny is irrelevant, but I said Monreal, right, people? Monreal, we're playing a dangerous game. Of course, at times he's played terrible like everyone else, but he's been Mr. Consistent since he's been here and he's alright. His age, not just for what he wants to do before his career is done, but now. We're playing a dangerous game, not looking at a long-term target in that area. We've got Joe Lopez in the academy, but he's still very young. He's, 17? It's not realistic to think now that he's ready to step in, which he's not. He's developing well, but he's not. So we need to identify that. Kohler, I personally feel with Kolasinac, Kohler, as on a regular basis refer to him as, stay with me and focus on what I'm actually saying, people. I'm not saying he's the best one of the best left backs in the Premier League. I think in an attacking sense, in the final third, in crossing and going and technical ability, I feel he's one of the best in the league at that particular aspect. By the flip side, literally the defensive aspect of the game, I think he's up there with one of the worst. If he could pattern up defensively and start to sniff danger, he'd be a decent left back, but I don't feel he's good enough to be first choice. I think he can be a second choice left back. Games you can get away with him, but I feel whether it's against United away or Brighton, the concentration isn't quite there. Liverpool away as well, it isn't quite there. I like Kohler as a player, and again, you could use him in the squad, but I just don't feel he's quite good enough, or right now at this moment in time, he's good enough to be number one. If he can improve, then great. And like I said, I like him. I actually like him in the team, but I feel he's a second choice. He's a secondary left back. I want someone who's strong first and foremost defensively. Obviously, with the modern day, you want someone who's good going forward. And I'll be fair with Kohler. He's made the difference in that regards, and he's very much the modern day left back. You see him doing skills, and he's very heavy-handed with his opponents. But I think we need a left back, people. There's still question marks over him on Monreal's old. So if we can rectify them two areas first and foremost, then we can move forward. If we've only got 45, if someone said it's true that we've only got 45 million DG and you can only spend this money on this money can only go so far, I'm trying to bring in two defenders, a centre half and a left back, people. Again, winger, centre mids, wingers, central midfielders, full backs. Of course, I would like to bring in more than this, but for me, people, if we can get a left back, if we can get a centre half, marry them with probably Socrates and Holding. For me, they're the two centre halves, three including a new one if it came in that we move forward with primarily. Obviously, Mavropanos and the young G's make up the fourth and fifth and depth purposes, but we can move forward with that. Bellerin to come back from his injury. Leno's obviously a relatively new keeper, only really started coming into his own and starting really in the second half of the season. In fact, I'm lying. Should we say turn of the year, couple months into the Prem, whenever it was. But anyways, we bought Leno. He's a young keeper and it's going to be here for the long term. Build a defence around him. You build a defence first, people. Defence is priority. If we can build a defence first, learn how to defend, then we can start to dream of doing other things. But until you get a foundation in the house, you can't, like I always say to a lot of people, you can't, how can you be a home builder or whatever, and before you thought about the beams you're going to put in your house and the foundation and the plumbing and the basic necessities you're going to need in the house, how are you talking about TVs and what's them clap lights and the mad fans at the top of the ceilings? You can't think about all that before you've done the basics, innit? That's the foundation. If we have a decent defence, we can move forward. Klopp saw the difference. He brought in Van Dijk, he brought in Alisson, but he also, what people don't understand, there was a greater importance on defending, on keeping clean sheets, on get better game management collectively throughout the whole team, but the defense. We need to improve our defensive system, and then, but we also need to work on this sort of thing. If we can do that, then we can move forward with certain things, people. In my humble opinion. Until that happens, you can't. You can have Aubameyang and Lacazette collectively. How much goals are they scoring? Regardless what people say about Ozil doing the mad passes, you can have Cola bombing down the left, Maitland-Niles and Bellerin the same. But if you cannot defend, you will not. We cannot win anything, people. I've seen us link with Kabak as well. You lot have seen my vid when I've know about him, and I was watching him Galatasaray versus Porto. Laita was playing there, and I think he's at the under-20s World Cup as well. I saw him playing. He's developing quite well. Seen him in the youth league as well. But Kabak, Stuttgart have been relegated. He's got a release clause of 30 million, which is interesting. Us, Spurs, and United allegedly. From what I've seen by him, he's a young centre half, and he'll kind of fit in to a degree with, I think Holding's ahead of him, but Holding, Mavropanos, and these sort of guys there that are sourced, and you kind of, and Bielik to a degree, even though he's not here, in that they're young centre halves. One, they're not really being given a chance, but two, is it kind of too many? Do they need to go out on loan? Are they all necessarily ready to jump in first time right now? And neither is really screaming better than the other. I like him a lot. I feel if he develops, he can be a very good centre-half. I'm not here to say world-class, top 5 and that. I feel he can be a reliable and competent centre-half. I feel he's very brave. I feel he can bring a ball out. I think he's an okay passer, decent reader of the game. I feel he's very raw in aspects as well. And as you'd expect of someone that's 18 years of age, he might even turn 19 now. Barely played professional football. He's still young. Done all right in a couple youth tournaments as well. His positioning is what needs to improve as well. I feel he needs to improve his positioning at the top level. I feel his heading at times can improve as well. I feel at times he can be at times a bit slow to react to things, but it's all about refining it. I feel he can be a competent centre half, really and truly. He's not gonna. I don't feel he's necessary. Again, I like him, and you lot see my vid on him. But at this moment in time, if we was to sign him right now, do I think he's gonna walk into our 11? No, I think he's one you develop. For 13 million, I wouldn't mind that for depth purposes. I would prefer Calabria. If we've got 45 million people, we can make it stretch. We can do some staggered payments for Calabria from Saint Etienne and do this thing, man. Again, still very young. I would play him in our starting lineup. Very young. We'd have to be prepared for him to have some clangers and get bullied by certain defenders, certain strikers, people. But someone we should be going for. And if I was Kieran Tierney, I wouldn't leave Celtic for us. They're playing Champions League football. But he's someone I'd be going with. Again, if we've only got 45 million, I don't know how much it can stretch people. But alleged, I'm just going to go based off the rumours I saw, 25 to 30 million to Leicester. By that logic, surely we can get involved, people. Surely. If we could sign him, that's a left-back and Calabria centre-half sorted. If we can get them in, it's kind of happy days, essentially, people. If worse comes to worse, when it comes to dealing with Celtic, man, could we possibly offer certain young players on loan? It would be good for them because they could possibly be playing Champions League as well and things like that. Who knows, people, man? Like I said, if it was up to me, wingers, centre midfielders, centre-half, left-back, all these things would be getting signed. But I think now, after seeing the Europa League final, it's made me want to press home the fact to you guys more that the foundation needs to get improved. We can't do nothing without it. Emre's hands are tied because the money and that. Emre can't do anything unless the spine of the team is improved. Until we learn to keep clean sheets and learn how to defend better, we can't win anything. We know we can play football, even though it's gone down several levels in my opinion. We can score goals, we can play football. On our day, we can beat any team essentially. But the problem is these days are few and beyond. There's 38 games in the Premier League. You're not gonna be at your best every game. And I'll keep some perspective. We finished 5th and we're technically the 5th best team in the Premier League, and we missed out by a point. So certain people will say that's all right. But the opportunity we had at our stake, not just the opportunity we had when top 4 was in our laps was disappointing. And away from that, how many dumb points did we drop? Wolves is a hard team to play. No disrespect to Wolves, but we got smacked against them. We got smacked against them at their place, and we drew against them. How many silly points did we drop? Even when we won games, how many times did we make it harder for ourselves? You look at the 5-1 victory against Fulham. Fulham took the lead, and we had to come back in that. Nobody speaks about that, and things like that, man. But on that note, people, Deluded, thank you for watching. I'm out.